In this video, I am going to explain you static default routing. Default route. A default route is also called as gateway of last resort. Mostly used with the stub network. What do you mean by stub network? Stub network is having one entry and one exit point. Mostly used at the end locations. A good stub network example is an island that relies on a bridge as the mode of transportation to the mainland. There may be multiple bridges, but each bridge only leads to a single point on the mainland. In such cases, default route is the best choice. Also, default routes are applicable to unknown destination. So the default route is that a router uses to forward an incoming packet when no other route is available for the packet in the routing table. So routers use the routing table to make the forwarding decision. So when a packet arrives on an interface of a router, the router reads the destination network address. If routing table does not contain any entry for the destination address, the router simply drops the incoming packet. So now, this is the point where the concept of default route fits. A default route gives a route to a router to forward all incoming packets whose destination network address are not available in the routing table. Let me show you this practically in the Cisco's packet tracer. So let me jump to Cisco's packet tracer. Okay, so let I take first 3 routers. First I am going to build the topology, right? So it will just revision for you. Then I will configure the default routing. So let me take 3 switches. Okay. Now let me make the off and drag and drop. I assume that all the routers are connected in a WAN, wide area network. So we have to connect all the routers with DCE cable. DCE serial. All others are connected with straight through cable. Now you know how to connect this in a one go, right? So I have pressed control key, then click on the cable. So not required to select the cable again and again. Right? So let me give the first IP address to this. I assume that this 10 network. So here I will give the IP address 10.0.0.2. Here 10.0.0.3. So this is 20 and this is 30. So 30.0.0.2. 30.0.0.3. 50.0.0.2. 50.0.0.3. Here 10.0.0.1. Here 30.0.0.1. 50.0.0.1. Here 20.0.0.1. 20.0.0.2. 40.0.0.1. So if you write, then it's easy for you and we can configure without any problem. So make the habit to write this way, right, to all the routers and to all the PCs. So let I start from this side. So let me give first to all the PCs 10.0.10.0.0.2, 10.0.0.1. 30.0, sorry, 10.0.0.3. Let me show why it's the wrong. Okay. 10.0.0.3, 10.0.0.1. 30.0.0.2, 30.0.0.1. 30.0.0.3, 30.0.0.1. 50.0.0.2, 50.0.0.1. 50.0.0.3, 50.0.0.1. Now all the desktops are ready. Now let me configure router one by one. So enable, then config T. So now first interface FA0. Let me first no shut, then give the IP address 10.0.0.1, 255.0.0.0. Now interface serial 10, no shut. IP address 20.0.0.1, 255.0.0.0. Now you can see it become very easy, right? If you have mentioned the IP address above and below to the router, you can see the clock rate. So I covered this all in my last video about the clock rate in detail, right? So you can watch if you can't get this at this time, right? Let me save, copy, run, start. Let me close this. Now let I configure this side. Interface FA0, no shut, then IP address. You can see 20.0. Okay, the bottom side, right? Currently we are on the LAN side. So IP address should be this one. Done. Now interface left side SE10, no shut. IP address 20.0.0.2, 255.0.0. Now interface right side SE1/1, no shut. Now this is the master side of the other network, so we require to give the clock rate. Then IP address 40.0.0.1, 255.0.0.0. Control Z, copy, run, start. Right. Now this final router. Enable, then global configuration mode, interface FA0/0, no shut, then IP address 50.0.0.1, 255.0.0.0. Now interface serial 1 0. No shut. IP address 40.0.0.2 255.0.0.0. Control Z, copy, run, start. Now let me check the IP addresses. Show IP route. Right, so here is 10 and 20 network. Correct, which two networks are directly connected, 10 and 20 here. Let me check the routing table. Correct, 20, 30 and 40 networks are directly connected to this router, this one. So IP route, right? Yes, 40 and 50, two networks are directly connected. So now you can see our topology is ready. Now let me configure the default route. So now you can see here, this is considered as a stub network. You can see if I want to go outside, this is the entry point, right? So this is the entry point to other network. Also, if packet wants to come inside, this is the entry point, this is the exit point, right? So for this router, this is the exit point, right? And also it is entry point to the other network, right? So this is only one here. Here is also only one entry and one exit point. It may be possible here somewhere ISP, right? So from this router to ISP also we require to configure default route. But let me assume that this is the ISP, right? For this network. But for this network, this is not a stub network, right? Because of two paths from here and here, right? So this is not considered as a stub network. But these two, this one and this one, considered as a stub network. One entry point and one exit point. One entry and one exit point. Here I will configure static route, right? That I configured in my last video. And here I will configure default route. So I start from this one. Config T. So now here you can see same syntax as like a static route. So IP route. But here 0.0.0 as a destination network address. 0.0.0 destination subnet mask. Entry point, or also called as a next hop IP address. So here you can see next hop IP address is 20.0.0.2. So if no destination address found, then it will send blindly this packet to this one 0.0.0, 0.0.0.0 to this. Now the responsibility of second router to handle this packet. Control Z, copy, run, start. Let I show you the routing table. Now you can see S asterisk sign. This is nothing but the flag to represent default route. You can see. So if no destination found over here, then blindly packet will be sent to this route. Now let I configure for this last side to the last router. IP route, right? Now 0.0.0.0, 0.0.0.0, and this is one, right? Entry point or next hop IP address. Now you can see copy, run, start. Show IP route. Now you can see S asterisk sign. This is the indication of default route. So this is not a stub network. So here we require to configure static route, right? Now you can see if you compare this video with the last video, I configured many routes, static route explicitly on this router and also on this router. But you can see we require just only one route. This is the advantage of using default route. But it is applicable only to the unknown destination and to the stub network. Now let I configure the static route over here. So config T, IP route. So destination address, destination subnet mask, and entry point or next hop IP address. Let I press up arrow key then also 50. 50 and entry point 40.0.0.2. Control Z, copy, run, start, show IP route. Now you can see, right? So here we required to insert manually two routes. This is the static route. This is the identification or the flag for the static route S. But here you can see we have configured static route, static default route, right? So here the indication S asterisk sign, right? So now let I try to ping, right? So here you can see in the routing table 10, 20 and default route. But here you can see the IP address is 50, right? So let I ping to this network. Ping 50.0.0.2. First it will perform ARP resolution, right? Okay, now you can see our default route is working properly. Now from here to here. So now you can see in this router 40, 50 and default route. But we want to ping to the network 10. Now you can see here. Ping 10.0.0.2. Now you can see default route is working properly. Thank you. Thank you for watching.